Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2. So, last episode I got blue screen in the middle of the game. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. It's the second time I got blue screen. First game when I get it was Darkwood. Now Kerbal. Don't know what that's about. Well, anyway, we continue. I lowered graphics a bit. Maybe it will help. And I think I'm gonna go for training. At least beginning. I don't know that I should check like orbiting. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, we start basics and I hope it will help us. Otherwise the learning curve will be insanely big. I would not mind, but for someone who is watching, maybe it's not really fun looking at me. Yeah, so this video gonna be maybe only training. Oh, these buildings look bigger than mine. Basic construction. Welcome to today's lecture on vessels construction. I am Werner von Kerman. Whether you want to put a satellite into orbit, make a transcontinental flight or step onto the very surface of Moon, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like myself. Overview. In this tutorial I will first show you around the Kerbal Space Center, then take you to the vehicle assembly building where you learn how to construct a simple ship. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what a part do, how to change the performance settings to the parts which have that option, and how to control stagging. At the end of the tutorial you will have to craft fit for a quick hop from a launch pad. At each step I will look out all controls other than the ones you need for lock out. So he will lock out everything other than once I need to that step. If you still manage to mess up, it took even me sometimes to become as skilled as I am now. You can press the back button and go back to fix things. I won't light up unless you do. It won't light up unless you do mess up. Oh, a lot of reading. Could just go straight away to business. We are now the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. The KSC is short in home to pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements for space exploration. Using the facilities you can see here, you will be able to manage your space program, create rockets and planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, find exciting new uses for explosive substances, and in case of emergency, hire more Kerbals. To find out about each of the facilities, you can hover your mouse over them. Don't want to read that. I kind of know all of these, so it would be nice that we stop. Take some time to hover the mouse over the buildings and see they each are. Oh, he wants me to do it. I did it. Come on, man. Turn it off. Checked everything. Take some time to hover the mouse over the building and see what they each are. And when you're ready, enter a vehicle assembly building. Oh, okay. What you'll see, didn't read till the end and straight away got stuck. Better read everything, especially in training. Inside the VAB. Very good. What you see in the middle of the screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is a part toolbox. It will show all the parts you have available in each of the different categories. Once there are any to pick, that is. If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module. So this is command module. Oh, but that's only if I want it controllable. So basically, if it is ballistic rocket, I don't need it. You need a command module, and it's best to make it the first part you place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're just starting there, only one choice. Go ahead and pick that command module from the pods tab. Pods. How I pick it up? Okay. Look around. After at last one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. Orbit camera. Can drag mouse. Move camera mouse up and down is mouse as well. Zoom is shift and mouse. Yeah, I suppose it's alright. It's not very intuitive, and I don't really know what makes things intuitive. It's probably because in other games it's kind of different. But okay, next. Adding a parachute. If you like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, he or she will have to return safely on the ground, on the cabin. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens. They can be found on the utility tab. Change tabs by clicking their icons on blah blah blah. When you are choosing parts, you can view the details of available part by hovering over them in the toolbox. When the info is visible, most parts have an additional information window which can be opened with a right click. Note that the parachute states the effective diameter in each state and what are maximum safe speed for deploying it. Go ahead and select M16 parachute by left clicking it. Then move it to the top of the command pod so that the green spear at the bottom of the parachute lines up with the green spear at the top of the pod. Click again to attach. MK16 parachute. Well, I wish they would still leave this thing here, because, you know, maybe I want to read. Well, there is something. Like, you know, I wanted to see how much it can carry and stuff like that. MK1 command pod. Reaction wheels normal. Wheel authority 100%. Inventory. What is this? Come on. Cargo parts. This is cargo part that can be placed inside inventories. Cargo part. This cargo part can be placed inside inventories. Vessel naming. Configures vessel name. It doesn't seem anything special. Okay, so we take parachute. 100 kilos. Tolerance. pressure. I don't really understand these things yet, because I don't know how fast gonna my spacecraft move. Like tolerance on impact. I don't really need that, I suppose, if I don't mean to crash. Well, re-entrance to gravity, the re-entrance to atmosphere is probably also count as impact. If it's very fast, it still probably registers something, even if it's just the air you hit. Similarly, like you jump in water, you can harm yourself. The MK16 parachute might be considered by some to be little more than a random stitching together on the surplus parts it is in fact made from. But the fact remains that the MK16 has been widely accepted as a generally better alternative to being in freefall. Okay. Okay, lining up is very easy. I see. Adjusting part options. Some parts, like your parachute here, have configurable options. To see these, we need a right click on the parachute we just attached to the pod. Do that now and you will see the available parameters. On the parachute, you will see that we can adjust our altitude and the atmospheric pressure at which to open. That setting can be quite useful on distant worlds. Yeah, cool, if only you would not. So, altitude and minimum pressure. Okay, I need to read it again. On the parachute you will see that you can adjust our altitude and the atmospheric pressure at which to open. So he wants to open at this pressure? Like almost zero? That means he can open very, very high. It's like a plan? Shouldn't it open like... I don't know. Just so, you know, so up from the ground that minimum amount not to crash. Weird. Anyway. Oh, maybe it's because it should not reach like terminal velocity. I don't know. For now, let's check that the opening height on the chute is at least 1000 meters, because safety is the Kerbal way after all. Well, it is 1000. Very high and very low pressure. Move for the minimum pressure slider, move it a bit to the right to 0.2. 0.2? Okay, that's better. Still very high. But I suppose it doesn't matter for me because I don't need specific landing spot. Because, you know, if you think about it, I'm not really sure why in space programs, like in real world, they don't open parachute straight away, as soon as they can. Like, if it doesn't matter, why risk, you know, that you can crash? Just open straight away when you're in atmosphere. Maybe there is some reason, because it seems like the more you fall, the faster you go, and you know that your ship gets hot and stuff like that. So why you just don't open parachute very, very high and just slowly fall? Yeah, must be a reason which I don't know. This setting prevents the clutch from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. On Kerbin, 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude. But he activates when he reach one of these, whichever he reach first. Like if yeah, I don't know, this like, let's say I reach 1000 kilometers, but pressure is not yet right, it will still open. And if it reach pressures but altitude is not right, it still opens as well. So maybe it like both. I kind of assume that in real life you can't really control altitude. It's probably just calculations based on pressure or something like that. Unless you have, you know, a laser or something pointing on the ground, but I feel like it would not be very precise. Yeah, actually, this is an interesting question. How they do calculate altitude in real life? It could be pressure of air, atmospheric pressure, that seems to be easier. It could be gravitational force, but I think it changes so little that there is no point, or something like that. Yeah, God knows. So where we ended. This setting prevents this clutch from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. Until above, it means higher pressure. That doesn't make sense. We start from the high pressure and go to lower pressure. Prevents clutch from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. They probably meant below, because atmospheric pressure goes weaker and weaker, not higher and higher. Okay. So even if you stage early and arm the parachute, it will wait until... So even if you stage early and arm the parachute, it will wait until then to active. You can hide these options by right-click on the background screen or picking up another part, and there is one available. You're happy with that? We can proceed. Yeah, we can. Next up, we are going to need something to make us go. Click on Engines tab and on the left to show the available engines and solid rocket motors. Motors? I don't think they call motors. Motor is something that rotates, isn't it? Even jet engine in this logic could be called motor. Well, anyway, I don't know, I'm just pretending to be smart. I don't really know what motor means. Because in my head, motor is like, you know, a car motor, an electric motor. Just a thing that gives you force to rotate. Rocket engine just blasts gas from one end and that's it. Grab one and connect it to the bottom of the pod. You may need to zoom or move the camera to be able to do so. Pods, fuel tanks, engines. Did he mean this? That's not motor. Well, I suppose it is meant motor. Solid fuel booster. Filled with a new, even more volatile fuel. The BACC offers semi-reliable performance at a good price. Semi-reliable? What the hell? Don't scare me. Oh my god, it's giant. I thought it's gonna be like a small rocket. But yeah, we are going to space, not shooting fireworks. Thrust limiter. Solid fuel. We probably only reason to remove solid fuel is if atmosphere is thin or if it's many stage rocket. And I don't know why thruster limit should be even. Just go slower because, I don't know, your rocket cannot control the g-force or something. Withstand, I mean, not control. Oops! I forget you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist. And to make the craft survivable as it stands now, you'll have to be better at rocket science than me. Ha, impossible. The problem with that craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for the payload. A single small pod and a clutch on a shot. It will either burn up on ascent from going too fast or burn up coming back down. Even if you survive that, the craft mass will cause it to fall too fast for the parachute to operate properly. And you hit the surface before it could stop you. Ok, I promise to teach you how to change to make it work in the later tutorial, but for now let's continue. Well, at least this way I tell you about removing parts. Pick up the BACC tumper and either drop it back over the part or press delete. Oh, okay. The right solid motor. Instead, let's add a solid motor that's a better match for the ship of this size. At the start of your career, you'll have what I consider rubbish parts, literally. The motor here looks like, and may well be, a converted trash can. That said, it does have enough oomph to get this little craft moving skyward, and quickly. As you progress, you will be able to unlock more engines and other parts. For now, though, let's pick RT5 flea and connect it to the bottom of a pod. Okay, mass 1.5 tons, tolerance 70 meters second, tolerance 50 Gs, max thrust, blah blah blah. I don't really wanna read everything. Oops. Oh shit. Ooh. The staging stack. Nice one. You know, all of this for now I could have done myself without training. I hope there will go some calibrations that I would not know. Maybe now. That will help. Nice one. You build the simplest survivable craft possible. You could go launch it right now, but it might be safer to explain one other thing first. In the bottom right, you'll see the staging stack. It's the box with the number 0. Yeah, this. And icons for the parachute and engine in it. This stack shows us which part will be activated as a stage or rocket. What this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the parachute will be triggered. I thought parachute triggers only with altitude. So why we put those parameters? Oh, excuse me. Will trigger. While it could be considered funny to open the chute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. To fix this, we need to separate the engine and parachute into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, you will see a little plus and minus appears. Yeah, I see. On the left of the box, click the plus button to add a new stage. Oh, I see. I don't like 0 stage. It should start with stage 1. But that's just my autism playing. If you add too many clicks, the minus button to extra blah 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 blah. Excellent. It's important to know that the stages activate from the highest number and then count down. Oh. Oh, okay, I see. Highest number first, my bad. Hey, what the hell? So, our first stage will be stage 1, and our second stage will be 0. Now drag the engine icon from the stage 0 down to stage 1. Yeah, but I still don't understand what's the point was putting altitude parameters for it to open, if it opens in stages. Very weird. Saving it for later. That's it. We now have a safe, well, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of the screen, you will see the name of our craft, Untitled Spacecraft. Doesn't seem so majestic. Why don't you change that to the something more your style? And you can add description if well, it's just training. What's the point? When you use the load screen later, these names and descriptions help you to grab the right vessel. When you're happy with the name, click save icon in the upper right. This one? I don't need anything. Come on. Different game? What that's supposed to mean? Okay, I don't understand why it doesn't save. Oh, I see. He wanted like changes. Summing up, excellent work. Feel free to play around in the parts and techniques I've shown you. And when you're ready to continue, press the red button in the upper right to the exit. Launch? It's not red. Or they are looking something wrong. Ah, to exit. Okay, I see. I thought we're gonna launch it again, also, not just. Back to the training menu, try to fly the basic tutorial to learn how to fly this little craft. And then the intermediate construction tutorial can teach you more about the editor. Any vessel you can create here will be lost when you exit. This is just for playing around. Well, I understand. Yeah, it was kind of very easy. I was expecting more knowledge, yeah, but that's probably other tutorial. So now I need to decide, should I launch or go other tutorial? I think I will go other. This one did teach me something, but I would like to know more about settings. Like weight of the craft and that parachute, how much weight it can take and where it was written and how to calculate it and like G-force and stuff like that. Because it wasn't really a lot of information, like I could set my boosters, you know, from 100% to probably 0. But I don't really know how this percentage affects the G-force and stuff like that. It would be too fast or, you know, only through trial and error. We could take basic flight. I think it will be really fast. Okay, I hope you didn't hear that. Okay, now we have at least some kind of things here. Our little craft is here. Welcome. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center launch facility. I am Gan Kerman and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you'll already check the basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you to so before doing through this one. Well, I don't think that this is a construction tutorial plays any role in this part, because I don't see anything from that except maybe this. But it's already put in the right places, so today we'll do a run through of all the important controls for the spacecraft. Okay, this is most important. Our little hopper from your basic construction lesson with Verne may not have all of them, but you'll do full run through once and see how it flies. If you're ready, go press next. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Let's look at those first. All of other controls will be locked until they need or its tutorial is closed. Alright? Okay, I understand what is roll. This, yaw and pitch seems both same. So I don't know how they choose which one is yaw, which one is pitch. Pitch, yaw and roll are the three directions you will rotate your craft. To help you visualize these, I've taken a holiday snap of the hopper below. Holiday snap? What that's supposed to mean. Next up we'll see how to rotate these directions. It probably will make more sense when your spacecraft gonna be some kind of shuttle. It's for now just weird, because it's all symmetrical. You control your ship's rotation using these controls. S and V is probably nose up and down. Rotation is A and D, and roll is Q and E. Okay, this is very intuitive. I like it. By controlling pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep the ship in a controlled flight. Should it even rotate like without any inputs? I thought it will be steady automatically, because rocket is even in the middle. Try it now and notice that the indicator on the lower left side moves as you provide control input. Oh, that thing. Yeah, I see. Oh. It moves very fast though. I can't like make one nudge movement. Anyway, it doesn't probably matter. Basic flight controls. Throttle plus pitch, yaw and roll are the main control. What is throttle? Nobody tells me that. You need to master for successful crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain it other time when it's of use. Remember that all of these controls have limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a little small ones. It's also good to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter and thus will usually mean easier to control. Next, let's look at the rest of the flight controls. Okay, this actually helps me a lot more than previous lesson. I feel like I would not be able to find it myself. Like, you know, ship controls and stuff. In flight, all the planning you put into the staging sequences of your ship comes into play. From launch to the final deployment of the descent parachute, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by activating stages. Space, launch, or activate next stage. So I choose myself when to activate the stage, just by pressing space. Okay. Note, I thought that there will be some kind of timer. The stages be automatically. But okay. Notice that the stage indicator in the lower left corner it shows the currently active stage. Where? Stage indicator in the lower left corner. So lower, and which is left? This is left. Oh yeah, stage 1. Since we haven't launched yet, it's showing the first stage is active. I have your staging controls locked for now, so that the stage indicator is growing purple. Whatever. One more thing on staging. If the staging setup is causing stifle, or you change your mind about something, you can edit the stage sequence on the fly. Pun intended. No need to go back to the assembly facility. Oh, so I can just move them around. Whatever. I wonder what this means. 584 meters. ESP. What's that? Thrust. VPR. Burn. So it's gonna burn for 8 seconds. I could put staging 8 seconds long, but it looks like I need to do it myself manually. The nav ball. An important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented and where it is going. That's why a good pilot is always aware of the ship's altitude, where it's pointing, and its velocity vector. These aren't always the same directions. As your skills improve, you should pick up on these. The big round instrument in the lower center of the screen is called nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. I don't understand horizon. I look up, so I suppose this is the middle of the sky, if this is the nose. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. When you're not pointing straight up, it's easy visible as a line between blue sky and the brown ground. Oh, I suppose we are in the sky now, so that's why it looks like that. As well as its heading, compass bearing, and speed. Okay, this is speed. I don't understand this. This is that compass bearing. Or this is compass bearing. Ah, this is G-force. If it's too high, our ship will disintegrate. Throttle. I don't know what throttle means. This word. It's probably just a fuel or something. And when it's here, it's out. You also got several icons that indicates things like your current velocity vector. But we'll have to look at those later. Velocity vector. Well, this is speed, so this must be velocity vector. Or maybe this. I don't know. Flight instruments. In the top center part of the screen, you have your altimeter. Wait. In the top center part of the screen. Oh, this is altitude. In the top center part of a screen. Ah, top center. Okay, I see. What the fuck? You have altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. So, atmosphere gauge is this. Yeah, though it doesn't show pressure. I don't like. I would like to see like 0.4 and 1. I know this is 1 and this is probably 0. I would prefer not to count them myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 16? That's a weird number. Anyway. Altimeter. Vertical speed. This is vertical speed. Atmosphere gauge. Oh, this is atmosphere. Well, altimeter is this. We are above the sea already. 74 meters. Okay, I understand. This means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out of the ground when landing. Ah, smart. Though I don't really need to watch anything, because parachute will deploy very high. Like 1,000 kilometers above the ground. Your vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. When landing, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. Your vertical speed indicator shows. So I suppose this is vertical speed indicator. Yeah, vert SPD. When launching, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. What that's supposed to mean? 100? Why not 1,000? Oh, I see. 1,000 is maximum and then it's negative. I suppose it depends on how strong is the ship. How much force you can. Well, but it's not acceleration, it's the speed. So it shouldn't affect how much force ship's experiencing. Because it's not acceleration. The atmospheric gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. That helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed or air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. Parachute indicators. Okay, that is probably important for us. One last thing before we give this rocket a green light. In the staging stack you can see the indicator for your parachute. Staging stack? You mean this? Now it's green. No, it's not. Instead you can see the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows when the shot will be activated by staging. You already know that the background will also change color to indicate when it is safe to stage the parachute. Well, they give us so much tools, like when it's safe to stage the parachute. I also would like to calculate it myself. But yeah, I suppose you know it's not the real NASA. And the foreground, the parachute bit of the icon will change color depending on the parachute state. Note, however, that by default parachute will not deploy when unsafe, even if you stage them. So I can't crash ship on purpose? That's not cool. Then the left tree shows safety. Safe. Oh my god, which is left? So this is left. This is safe, risky, and unsafe. To deploy, the parachute is on stage to deploy. The parachute is on staged white on the left tree. The right tree shows state after staging. Armed, deployed, and cut, shredded. So this is cut. I don't know what means armed. When you are familiar with the clutch icon, shoot, how I hate this word. Why they don't just say parachute? Icon, color, we can move on. I'm not familiar, but we can move on. Ready to launch. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. At any time you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu you can restart the flight or end this tutorial. Choose end scenario and return to main menu. For now, get yourself prepared and hit space when ready to launch. Don't forget our hopper has only a solid rocket motor, so there is no throttle control. That's why we don't review the throttle here. We didn't? Oh, you mean this thing? Okay. Make sure to fly in the nice high arc and enjoy the fly. Well, they say I should fly in the arc, but that's kind of vague. Vague, like, what kind of arc? Why can't I just fly straight? But I suppose if I want to learn controls... Am I arcing? I don't know how strong arc should be. Oh, we did bad. Oh my god, this thing. Rocket is already out. Oh my god. Oh, we are already going down. That's why I cannot put it. Oh, I didn't know I need to deploy parachute already. We deployed about 250 meters from the ground. It may not be enough. G-force is not slowing down. I think we barely did it. What the hell? It just stands there. Ah, it's not stands. It's falling. For a moment it looks like it's freezed. Well, we actually barely did it. 250 meters. Maybe 200 would be enough as well. Well done, you survived your first quick flight. When you landed or splashed on Kerbin and not in training, you can point the mouse just above the altimeter and click the recover button. Recover vessel. On the panel and slide down to ask be picked up. I've also unlocked a crew hatch, so if you feel like going out for a walk or swim, you can click the EVA extra vehicular activity button that will pop up when your mouse over the portrait of a Kerbal you want to take for a walk. A portrait of Kerbal you want to take for a walk. You can do it just for fun or collect surface sample. This concludes today's lesson. The exit training, you press escape, access the main menu and scenario and return to main menu. I hope you see again to learn more about suborbital flight, perhaps. Okay, how was that walking? Also, why parachute didn't open itself when we reached height? It was scary, but okay, we did it ourselves, so no problem. I also unlocked crew hatch, so if you feel going for a walk, swim, click EVA extra vehicular active. Where is that EVA? Oh, this one? Let go? What that's supposed to mean? F. Climb out. What that was? That laggy water though. I suppose this game put a lot of effort in the physics. Grab. Board. Okay, we got everything. Okay, I think we're ready to finish a real mission. End scenario. We learn most important things. I'm gonna fly my first rocket now. Resume saved. Load. The controls was actually quite hard. Maybe because the rocket fuel ended. And you know, it naturally tried to fall down, nose down. And I thought I messed up because I started moving it. And I tried to stabilize them in the right position, but I couldn't. Ooh. Okay. Launch first vessel, we will do that. Gather scientific data for Kerbin. I don't really understand this. Vehicle assembly building. The VIB is where spacecraft is designed and built before being moved over. Oh, it shows the background. Yeah, I don't know what Kerbin is and where he sits. Scientific data from Kerbin. Maybe here? Mortimer. Oh no, it's not here. Last time I was here, I got blue screen. Don't want to be there at all. Scientific data from Kerbin. Yeah, there are many people. Applicants. Oh, Bob is kind of stupid and not corrigible. Or how you... not brave. Okay, but there is also not Kerbin or whatever his name was. Okay. I should be careful not to actually enter tracking, because it freezes the game quite a lot. Maybe here? Oh, there is Kerman. Oh, and I need Kerbin. Who is Kerbin? Is he here? Okay, it doesn't matter about the Kerbin guy. Let's make our first ship. Considering training, it wasn't hard at all. I thought it gonna be more. Science. Okay, we take this. No even point reading. I don't know what that is. I don't think I need fins. Although the stabilization was kind of bad. But better not spend money, because it can end. Okay, we definitely need this, whatever is that. Need to test that fluid. I wonder if I add it on the side, will it affect? Oh, it does affect center of mass. Not a lot though. Yeah, somehow it affected center of mass at the beginning. Oh, I see. Well, I don't think I can do anything to prevent this happening. Maybe just put two on the both sides. But they're quite heavy, I think. Doesn't look right. Shit. Better not change it. Is it in center? Looks alright. I hope it's not gonna be too heavy. What is this? Eva jacket. Ah, astronaut jacket, okay. I think we need these things though. Why I can't click on the capsule anymore? Oh, there it is. Oh, we have it. Okay, I don't know. Will these two not too heavy? It is how it is. I will do everything as it was. Shroud. What is shroud? That's just color. Thrust limiter. This is like a weight, isn't it? Like how much fluid is inside. Yeah, but I wonder if this is fuel. Thrust limiter is just... I suppose we can keep 100 because we survived the test and now ship is a bit heavier because we have 2 capsules. I wish I could know where to see, like, I don't know, overview of ship, something like that. What is this? Nobody teach me that. Okay, do I need to hire a crew? Oh my god. Whatever, I think we can... Oh, there is crew. MK1 command pod. What's that? Well, we didn't have anything but that. These things. Too big. But we have a 2 already. I think I just saw a guy walk through wall. Okay, who we gonna hire? Oh, we have pilot already. Parts with crew capacity. Is it already hired? I don't understand. Well, I suppose we have a crew already here. If I press launch, it's gonna launch? Whew. I was afraid it's gonna launch here, inside the building. Okay, first flight was a bit hard. Now it's gonna be easier. And I know where to open parachute. 250 is enough. I think I could... I didn't see height when I opened it. But I could probably do easily another 50 meters down. Oh, there is some new things though. Also, which way is the sea? I don't want to land on the land. Okay, this way. That launch pad seems cheap. Probably without upgrades. Well, it is how it is. At least guys inside. Okay, I'm not gonna read anything of that. Too hard. Okay, I suppose I just fly and see what will happen. One thing though scares me. This rocket seems a bit stronger. Last one was 500 meters per second, but if it's speed, not acceleration, maybe it's okay. Why it goes this way? We did reach 10,000. What is supposed to mean? That we falling? That we nose down? Okay, I don't really understand what I'm doing. I think I looked at this 250. Maybe if speed is too fast, it can tear parachute. Doesn't open though. Oh shit, what's wrong? Well, I don't know if it opens itself or I need to open it. I kind of didn't understand. Still need to learn that. Hey, stop. Oh. Easy. 6 meter. Yeah, I don't think there is anything for us to take. So recover vessel. That's it. I should have done those achievements. I mean missions. First craft. Need to collect that data somehow. It was quite successful. I didn't completely understand that deployment of parachute. So recover a vessel that survived a flight. One data gathered. Data value 5, science 5. Oh, we got quite a lot of atoms. So command pod. Solid fuel booster. Goo container. Parachute. Personal parachute. Everjack. Yeah, just the things. Doesn't mean a lot. One experience for Kerman. Okay, but how I take that data? Total reputation 22. I don't know what we did. Gather scientific data from Kerbin. I don't understand. How? I thought we gathered it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I said exactly that thing. Nice. Okay, what is this? I don't understand. One of... Give us a quick crew report before launching. Before launching. Expires never. Recover or transmit any science experiment data from Kerbin. Yeah, but how you do it? Need to look around, maybe there is some kind of buttons. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything now. I think we're done for today. Thanks for watching and I see you later, bye.